Just as a warning to start this video off, there's going to be major spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you haven't seen that, please click off this video and go see it now. Trust me, it's worth the 2 hour and 30 minutes of your time. Alright, anyway, let's get started. This is a new series I'm trying to create, maybe call it like Off the Top, Off the Dome, something just where I'm talking off the top of my head, rambling about something. Well, whatever it could be, the gameplay footage in the background just to keep, whatever. Let's get started. So I saw No Way Home a couple days ago, about a week ago now, 2 weeks actually, I don't really know the time, but I saw opening night. So the opening night, the theater, that's the first thing I really want to talk about, the audience. The audience reaction, like the whole crowd was amazing. We were in a packed theater, okay? Packed theater, no seats at all, so it was great. When Andrew and Toby showed up, it was all, I'm sure you've seen the videos, a bunch of clapping, screaming, woo, you know how it goes. And that's really a moment I'll probably never forget. It's very reminiscent of the Endgame scene when I went to go see Endgame opening night as well. You know, theater going crazy when Cap picked up Thor's hammer. We all know how it went. It was like, woo, everyone going insane. It's kind of like that. It was just something that I was truly around a bunch of other fans. And that's what I like about that, when you just, I don't like going to see it a few days after it's been released, because the crowd isn't as excited for it, do you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe they like the movie, they enjoy it, but they're not as pumped as if you go see it opening night, where everyone's like, yeah, everyone's so excited, they've been waiting this forever, they stayed up to buy the tickets. But hey, what can you do? Anyway, I should probably talk about the actual movie itself now. I guess I can start from the beginning. The first decent amount of the movie was extremely slow. Like, the first, I don't know, probably until like they get to like the apartment complex scene, you know, when Peter's trying to fix them all. I feel like it was really slow till then. I didn't love the beginning. I really did not love the beginning at all. I mean, it was okay. I like the lady, like the Karen, who was like, oh, Spider-Man hit me! You know, and then she started like, guys, Spider-Man hit me! You know, cancel on Twitter or something. That was fun. And I kind of like the first person, like, web slinging. That was cool as well. Alright, and then, you know, we got the whole, like, introduction to MJ working at the cafe. And then we have the Peter scene. Okay, I thought the Doctor Strange scene is what I meant to say, was kind of interesting in its own way. I like the part where he kicks him out at the end. He's like, you didn't, call them, and he's like, okay, get out. He just kicks him out of my house. And then Flash wasn't, Flash Thompson, he was an interesting part about this movie. I didn't like his new design. I know they wanted to make him, have his normal standard comics like hair, but it was really weird. I don't know. But I do like how he led Peter to meeting I don't remember her name. That lady, right? That whole bridge scene was fairly good when Doc Ock shows up. What I didn't really like was at the end of that fight scene where, Peter's taking over Doc Ock's like the arms using the nanotech. I felt like that was kind of short, maybe shoehorned a little bit. Just not supposed to. It didn't really feel like it was supposed to be in the movie. It felt, I wouldn't say cringy, but a little weird. Like the whole thing with Peter using his arms. I mean, it's something I imagine Spider-Man would do, but it just didn't really click with me. Like, it's supposed to be like a serious scene. We got Doc Ock was just trying to kill him a second ago, and now Peter's laughing about the fact that he controls his arms. I don't know. Okay, so now we get this part, he's back in the thing. There was a lizard jump scare. Like, the first time we see the lizard, he jumps out. The first time I saw it, even the second time I saw the movie, I jumped. Because I was like, I did not expect the lizard to be there. So that was that, We get Doc Ock in the prison. I didn't like Doc Ock while he was in the prison. I really didn't like Doc Ock's character too much until he turned good. I feel like after they had, Alfred Molina turn good and all of that, that's when his character truly was better. Yeah. But before that, no. Like the whole thing where he's like, my name is Dr. Otto, like Otto Octavius, Tom, Zendaya, and Jacob are just like laughing at him. I didn't like that part either, but that's just like, there's not many things about this movie that I dislike. That's just, one of them, one of like a picky little criticism I have. So we've got that. Doc Ock, he's in the cage. That was really weird. And then boom, we go to fight Electro. You know, because Tom got his like suit, he's all green, so that was cool. I like how they did fit in the black and gold suit into the movie fairly well. Like, I was concerned it was just gonna be a completely random new, suit. Like Tom was gonna get his new 50th suit or something, but no, it was just his normal suit flipped inside out, which is really cool. I can't wait to probably get the Funko Pop for that because I know it's gonna look cool on my shelf, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, there's not really much to think about that part. You know, he fights Electro. Electro was really weird. Why did Electro get why did he look so cool at like the end? You know, when he came back, think about it, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he turned into Electro. You know, he was like this nerd. He had like a tooth gap. I'm pretty sure he looked terrible. He's balding, all that crap. And he comes back and he just looks like normal Jamie Foxx. He looks great. It doesn't really make much sense. That's just me nitpicking a little bit about the movie. Okay, so yeah, they get back in the prison, and then you meet the best character in this whole movie. Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. William Dafoe's performance in this movie was something I feel like I could talk about for hours, okay? The way he talks to, Aunt May, sets up all of that, where he's like, they have the scene where Aunt May's in the feast. Ooh, feast. That's also something I need to mention. But, they're in the truck, and he's like, he trusts you, Peter, and so do I. That was fun, setting up the whole Aunt May's death later by making it even sadder. Just do that, yeah. That was pretty nice. So, we get Green Goblin, he's stuck in the thing. Then the next we have the Doctor Strange fight scene. That was interesting. I liked it makes me really excited for Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. That's really what it does make me excited for, just all the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness stuff. Because that movie's going to be so good. And the fact that we get to see more Doctor Strange, fight scenes, the way he normally fights is so cool. It was really nice to see. And the way Peter defeated him at the end was it geometry? I'm pretty sure it was geometry. That was, first of all, I didn't really like seeing math, when I'm trying to watch a movie. But besides that, I really like that because it showed Peter's intelligence in a way, right? He knows how to do this. And the fact that he beat him using math was fun. So then he beats him, he gets out. Doctor Strange is stuck over the Grand Canyon for hours. That was funny. Yeah, so he's going crazy about Ned, I just beat, that was a nice scene. And boom, they're just talking, they're like, okay, we gotta go fix you, so we're gonna go back to, the apartment. So they start going to the apartment, and this is where the movie truly hits its stride. This is where the movie, I believe, like I just said, truly hits its peak, and it becomes great. You got the funny scene where Sandman is on the couch. He's on the couch, and gets all over and he wipes it off. That was kind of funny, right? And the scene where Doc Ock, he's like, he's gonna kill us after Peter, accidentally busts his microwave. That was great as well. Yeah, that was that part of the movie. We get the scene where Norman's like, if you ever need, a job and you're willing to, traverse I feel like Norman Osborn in this movie was really played extremely well. His role in it was surprisingly bigger than I thought it was going to be, and William Dafoe played him great. The scene, Norman's side and Green Goblin's side, mostly Green Goblin's side, but I'll get to that in a bit. Norman's side, he really did feel like Norman Osborn in this movie. Don't get me wrong, I loved William Dafoe in Spider-Man back in 2002, but there was something about this movie where everyone felt like they fit the rules a lot more besides Sandman and Lizard, but that's because I'm pretty sure they couldn't get their actors, they were a bit off, but besides that, everyone fit the role, even Tom. Tom fit his role a lot better than I believe he had the past 5 whatever movies he'd been in, from Civil War to Far From Home. Everyone felt like they understood the characters a lot more, and that was really nice. And we get a scene where Tom's spider sense is going off, and he webs Green Goblin. Oh my god. The whole apartment scene fight scene with Green Goblin was great. There was just something about it that the scene where, Tom's beating the crap out of him, and he's just laughing. This is where the moment Tom Holland's Peter Parker figured out, yeah, my biggest, the biggest enemy I fought, it wasn't Vulture, it wasn't Mysterio, it wasn't even Thanos, no. It was Green Goblin. That's when he was like, I messed up, I really should have sent them back. He's like, yeah. And this was such a brutal fight scene. I Tom had said he was going to throw more punches, right? All like that, but I didn't really expect it. I didn't think he'd go actually be violent. But no, he actually did. And then we have the scene taken straight out of Spider-Man PS4, where, Tom, he throws up like the Green Goblin, but he's above him. He uses the webs and he brings stuff down to the ground to slam him through the ground. That was a great scene. And obviously we have the scene where Norman, Green Goblin at this point, I guess, is just absolutely slamming Peter through floors upon floors of probably concrete. I don't know what it would be. But he's just slamming through floors of an apartment building. That was brutal. Bro was absolutely destroying it. And then we get to the final scene in the apartment complex where the glider kills Aunt May. That scene was something that really was great. They just killed her. And you didn't really know if she was going to die or not, but as soon as she said, with great power may also come great responsibility, you're like, oh yeah, she's dead. I really do like how the MCU used... They changed up the formula a little bit, because we don't know if Uncle Ben exists in the MCU. Sure, we have the whole, what if thing, but do we really count that? I don't know. Yeah. They basically took Uncle Ben, replaced him with Aunt May, and I really like that. It's just something refreshing and new. It's something we've never really seen before, and I doubt we'll ever see something like it again, but it was nice. It was great to see that. She dies. And the scene after that, where it's just Peter standing and watching the J. Jonah Jameson thing, with the footage in the rain, that's probably my favorite scene from a Marvel movie. It's just something about it that was so great. It was so much fun to watch. We got that. And then we get to one of the best parts of the whole movie. Andrew is back. He's back. Ned has the ring. He uses the magic and opens the portal. And okay, when I was first watching this the first time, I did not realize that was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man at first. At first I thought, oh wait, are they replicating the scene from Spider-Man 2? Because I thought it was Peter Parker's Spider-Man. I thought they were replicating the scene from Spider-Man 2 where they, where Peter throws away his suit. I thought that's what they were doing. No. Andrew Garfield runs through, the portal. That's when I was sitting next to, my best friend. We were like, yo, is that? Yeah, it is. And then by the point he hops in, everyone's going crazy. He takes off his mask. Everyone's going even louder. It's like, I don't know, whatever state just won the championship or something. It was great. And then you have the scene where MJ's like, prove it. Bread. That made me cackle a lot. That was really, really funny. There was something about that was hilarious, It's talking, and then out of nowhere, boom, we get Tobey Maguire, his entrance. I like how plain it was, just how simple. He's just walking through, he's not like Andrew where he's running through the portal, jumping or anything. No, he's just walking through, having a good time. Not a good time, but he's just walking through, and that really fits his character, because his character was never something that was too complex, maybe. Never do crazy, happy, interjects probably the word. In reality, in the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy, he really didn't say too many words as Spider-Man, which is, cool. Can't really say much about it, but that's just what makes his character simple. And the way they brought him in was extremely simple. But once again, the theater went crazy, and it's something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. It was such a great scene. And then you have the scene where, they're talking about Andrew and Toby are talking about, rather the, Empire State or the Chrysler Building. That was great, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I know where they're going with this. And of course, they bring him back to Peter's school. I don't know what the name is. The top there, that scene, something that really hurt a lot, where Peter's like, Tom's like, I'm going to send you two back, you guys shouldn't be here, I'm sorry for bringing you into this mess. If you guys kill him, that's on your hands, not me. That scene was something that was so gut-wrenching that it really hurt. I didn't expect it. MJ brings away, she brings the box away. So no, Peter, listen to them. And then they start talking about Uncle Ben and Gwen Stacy. The way Andrew acted, he talked about Gwen Stacy was something else entirely. It was great. Andrew overtook this movie. He was the best one in the movie by far. But yeah, we have that, the whole scene was okay, maybe we should try to fix them. That was great. And then you get to the lab, the only really, I mean, the whole thing in the lab was great. All the interactions, everything. My favorite part was probably the fact that they definitely 100% just told us in the future Ned is going to be Hobgoblin. With the whole, I promise I won't turn evil and try to kill you. He's going to turn, especially since he doesn't remember him now, he's going to turn evil and try to kill him 100%. We get that scene, and we get the Statue of Liberty. And when they're on the Statue of Liberty, the whole scene where Tom's talking to J. Jonah Jameson, and at the end where he's like, world, if you're listening to this, wish me luck. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man needs it. That scene right there was something that it hurt. It left like a hole in my heart. I don't know how to really explain it, but it's something that beautiful cinema. He finally called himself the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Maybe he done that. He might have done it in Spider-Man: Homecoming. I don't really remember, but he did there, and he embraced it. And just from there, the movie gets better and better and better. We got the whole fight scenes. We got the interaction with Toby, Andrew, and Tom, where Andrew's like, I love you. I loved that. And they were like, thank you, Or like you're in a band. That was great. Andrew really overtook this movie. He outshined everyone else in a way that I really didn't think he could. And I'm basically just trying to say, make TASM 3. Make TASM 3. That's all we need to know. Make TASM 3. Okay? That's all you need to do at this point. Yeah. And then the next thing I really want to talk about is Andrew saving MJ. That was another scene that was like, oh my god. Wow. Make TASM 3. That's all there is to say about that scene. Make TASM 3, because Andrew's such a good Peter Parker. He's such a good actor. You need to make TASM 3. And that leads to the best fight scene in the whole movie. Well, second best probably. Green Goblin vs. Peter Part 2. I really loved how vicious Peter was in this scene. Just in this whole part where he was just absolutely destroying Green Goblin. He was killing him. It was beautiful in its own way. The movie, it really felt reminiscent to Spider-Man PS4 with the way he was like his fights, his like action. That was great. And then you have the scene where he goes to try to kill Green Goblin with the glider. I thought, obviously we all knew he was going to get stopped, but I think I would have preferred rather if it was Andrew who stopped him rather than Toby. Just because earlier in the movie, we had Andrew, talk about how he got, he stopped caring, he got revengeful, he got angry. I think if we had the scene where Andrew stops him and said, he's like, Tom, I don't want you to, you're Peter, I don't want you to be like me. Become the way I did. I think that's something that would have been really great, but hey, you get Toby, he gets stabbed. That's a bit weird because he still has spider sense. But, I mean, it's a tiny little bit, They've cured all the villains. It was a bit annoying. They had to reuse the scene from Spider-Man 3 for Sandman just because they couldn't get his actor. Same thing for Lizard. But that's just like a little thing. It's nothing that ruined the movie. And then we get the spell at the end. And the whole scene where MJ and Ned are talking to Peter, that really hurt a lot as well. That was something I was like, oh my god, did you really just do that? You know what I mean? Like, oh my god. That was really sad. And then obviously we get the end, in the cafe. Peter's going to go tell MJ, hey, my name's Peter Parker and I used to, and then he sees her Band-Aid and he's like, yeah, let's not do that. That was something great. It made me really sad and like melancholic at the same time. Maybe it was like, oh my god, he's growing up. Also, that would have been the perfect spot for Stan Lee's scene, so rest in peace, Stan Lee. That would have been perfect for a cameo, but rest in peace. So Peter, he doesn't tell him. He's like, I'll see you around. And then we get probably my third favorite scene in the whole movie. He's got a new apartment. He's living all by himself. He's finally all alone. He's all alone by himself. And the final thing we see is him, a new suit, a classic suit. Some people say it looks like the Steve Ditko suit. I don't think so. I think it looks different, and I think it looks great. And this has me excited for Spider-Man 4 and the rest of the college trilogy, hopefully. Make TASM 3. Goodbye, everybody. Merry Christmas, and have a good day.